Dating when you're young is fun, it's exhilarating, and then dating after divorce is a whole other ballgame. But it can be just as fun. Hi, my name is Veronique. Welcome to my channel, Treasure Your Journey, where you will find inspiration and guidance to live your best life. Dating after divorce is what I know now because that's what I'm living. Dating when I was younger isn't really significant because times have changed. We didn't have phones. Well, I mean, we had phones. I'm not that old. We didn't have the constant communication that smartphones has brought. So the only thing I knew was, phone calls in the evening from the guy that you liked, which was great. And sometimes you'd, maybe get a phone call during the day. And now it's so seems so complicated, especially for my generation who didn't grow up with these, with this type of communication. And we've become sort of a slave to our phone and these text messages. It's like the morning text. And if you don't get one, well, why not? Is he not thinking of me? Why am I not the first thing he thinks of in the morning? And the good night text, well, should I send it first? Should he send it? Well, it's really, it's really confusing, but it doesn't have to be. I don't know where we've become so dependent on, validation from somebody else. I have a very good friend of mine who received a text message this morning from somebody she's been dating for a few weeks, and it was a breakup text. It was a lovely text message. It just basically said, she's a great girl, but he's not in a place to be in a relationship. He just perhaps hung up on somebody else. Who knows? She's sad, understandably so. But she's such a wonderful, oh my gosh, she is drop dead gorgeous. She is funny. She's witty. She's smart. Online dating for her, I mean, it's hit after hit after hit after hit. She's that woman. She often likes the guys that don't give her much attention. I don't know what it is. Is it the chase? Is that what it is? She keeps saying that the guys that she likes don't like her, and the guys that like her she doesn't like. But there's a lot of this, there's this new term, breadcrumbs, breadcrumbing. So give a little bit of attention, then take it back. And with this last guy, I'm not saying that's what he did, but she didn't really hear from him all that often. And I know it had been a couple of weeks, but I guess there's this expectation that you receive a text message at least a couple of times a day. And if not, then, he doesn't seem all that interested. I guess it depends what kind of relationship that we're looking for. I do believe that, and this is the most annoying thing you can hear when you actually want a relationship, is for those who say, when you're not looking, that's what, that's when it happens. I remember hearing that. Ugh, it's annoying. And that usually came from somebody who was in a relationship. Well, I understand what that means, because when I first divorced, I wanted to take time for me to really find my footing. But then after a while, I realized I was a little bit lonely. But I wasn't lonely because I was alone. I was dealing with something and I wanted a distraction. And I thought that, attention from a man was nice, and it gave me some self-worth. I learned my lesson. It was a good lesson. And I had to go through that because eventually I did get into relationships when I was not in a good place. And those relationships really matched my vibration. They were not good relationships. And I say relationship, they wasn't long-term relationships, just I started dating and I got hung up on these guys that were just not right for me. It's okay. I needed to go through that journey to learn, and I appreciate every single experience I had. I was in a 2-year relationship during the pandemic. So, we weren't really doing much. And he was a wonderful man, just wasn't quite for me. We weren't very compatible. we didn't like the same things. And I really, I was looking for more sort of adventure and, more activities. And I ended the relationship. And I was really happy just being on my own because I knew I didn't want to be in a relationship just to not be alone, because I realized I was fine by myself. Of course, I'm a busy mom of 3 boys in competitive sports. I have 2 jobs. I have great friends. I have hobbies. But I needed to get into that place of being okay, because I knew that if I was okay, there's that saying, if you're not okay with where you are, you're not going to be okay with where you think you should be. I needed to get there. And what my message is, just chill and work on yourself and date yourself. Because being in a relationship for the wrong reasons is and I wanted to say waste of time, and I don't want to catch myself because it's actually not a waste of time. Because if you do that, I think you will learn like I did, and it's your journey. I don't want to tell you what to do. What I do want to say is find your worth inside of yourself, not through somebody else. And when you're looking for a relationship and all you're focused on is the lack of that relationship or the absence of that relationship, well, that's what the universe is going to keep giving you. Energy flows where thoughts go. So if you continue to think that every relationship is bad and, men are all the same and, none of them want relationships, and your thoughts are so negative, this is what you're going to attract. I know, because I was there and I had those negative thoughts and I just kept attracting the wrong guys. And that was my fault. That was my vibration. And the relationship I'm in now is quite simple because I wasn't looking at all. And it just happened. Now, of course, when we met, he had said, actually, we already knew each other. We were friends, but then, it just kind of happened. And he said, oh, you know what? Like, I really don't want a serious relationship. And I thought, that's great. That's great, because neither am I. And I really don't want to get into a relationship anymore, starting off with, I want a relationship, because it puts a lot of pressure. I thought, you know what? Let's just enjoy each other's company. I like you today. Let's see where this goes. No pressure. There were ups and downs. I think there were some moments where perhaps, I felt like I was a little bit more interested than he was. But then I always remembered that, I didn't want to force anything. I want to go with the flow. I want to swim with the current. And, I broke up with him at one point because I thought that maybe I was a little bit more invested than he was. But nothing had changed. He did say from the beginning, and so did I. It works because I don't have time for a full-time, full-on relationship. We both have children. They are our priority. And I have a great life. The key is you don't get into a relationship to fix your life. You get into a relationship to add to your life, your already abundant life that you create. Focus on what you have. Happiness doesn't come from a relationship. Happiness comes from gratitude for what you already have. And when you're in a state of gratitude, things just come to you. There are a lot of great men. A lot. I know quite a few. And there are a lot of great women. And they will come when you just chill and enjoy life. Because life is good if you make it. I wish you happiness through gratitude. Like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.